City of Summerside is very honored to receive the honorable mention from the ISGAN 5th event for its project MyPowernet. It was the first time we applied for an award like this in the 8 years we've been operating the program, and it's been really humbling, to say the least, that the International Smart Grid Alliance Network sees our project in Summerside, Prince Edward Island as an honorable mention in the global market of smart grid initiatives and innovation. So MyPowernet, a City of Summerside project, is about putting together renewable resources and empowering the consumers to use that energy to the best advantage of the utility by using a smart grid and controllable devices to make sure that renewable resources are used for heating homes and hot water for those participating consumers, and at the same time benefiting three stakeholders, which is the environment by reducing greenhouse gas emissions, the consumer by reducing costs, and finally the utility by decreasing its peak requirement of electricity demand on its electricity system, all enabled smartly by the smart grid and communication systems that MyPowernet has been able to do for the last 8 years in the City of Summerside. MyPowernet doesn't work well without participants from the customers or the consumers, and we've been able to incentivize them through this program by offering discounted electricity rates for renewable energy that doesn't cost a lot to operate and into the North American grid. So we were able to offer a 30% discount on electrical rates for those customers on the program that allows the utility to control the appliances that use the energy. So one of the ways we were able to get participants engaged was to explain the technology and also to guarantee that they would never run out of heat or hot water while receiving the benefits of that discount. And that discount is used to pay for the technology that helps them save money. And the payback on an investment for a furnace or a hot water heater that has a 10 or 20 year life is less than 5 years. So everybody makes out benefiting in a win-win-win scenario, and that's how we get participants to participate. It actually puts dollars into their pocketbook on a day-to-day basis and also helps utility and saves the environment some greenhouse gas emissions. MyPowernet project for the City of Summerside has seen a very large benefit and result from the units. We've had less than 5% participating customers, and we've seen over 15% demand reduction in our electrical grid and increased our sales on the system by about 10% as well for increasing our load factor and efficiency on our smart grid. So we're utilizing our infrastructure much better, and the lines are much fuller for the investment in the infrastructure. MyPowernet did have direct benefits to the consumer, the environment, and the utility, but it also had further reaching impacts. We worked with developers and innovators to improve their products, to enable them to be smart grid ready. We took suppliers and innovated with them and asked them what we wanted for controls and for abilities, and they helped modify and develop their products to suit the consumer's needs and the utility's needs, and to make it very reliable and robust. That led to a lot of new innovations and creation of the marketplace for these type of devices. We've seen product development in the companies expand beyond Summerside and actually be, I'll say, North American offered. Smart Grid Development Canada is on the leading edge right now, and there's a lot of work being done in the country nationwide, and that's being facilitated by the federal government investment in smart grid initiatives by incorporating a lowering greenhouse gas emissions or carbon footprint. The City of Summerside itself wants to become 100% smart grid on its electrical grid and expand its offering of smart grid services into our consumer base. And we're working with other innovative companies at the time being that are trying to incorporate heat pumps. We already have furnaces and room heaters and hot water tanks. And then we're getting also into smart metering as well as temperature controls. And we're trying to work with developing hybrid cars to V2X, those type of things. Really, the infrastructure once developed as smart grid is limitless in the amount you can do with it. It's the software and the software integration and development, which we've worked with in the last 4 years with a company to really make the smart grid really work for many different variables. And that's the key, finding those block value chains that can help the smart grid create value and economic viability in a tough industry that's been stagnant for a lot of years in electric utility. It's always been a large scale generation and not wanting to talk about microsites. And the new smart grid technology needs to develop and integrates microgrid sites to the balance of the grid and the stability and reliability of the electrical system. That's where we see it going. And that's where City of Summerside wants to go, is 100% smart. The ISGAN event that I attended in Vancouver has really opened our eyes here in Summerside of showing the breadth and expertise around the world in trying to develop these marketplaces for smart grid readiness. And I think ISGAN's role and these events bring together and open up the research and abilities and technologies available around the world that can be used. And what works for one may not work for another, and this is how you get the best learning tools, by going and attending these events, by sharing information and sharing the growth in the industry and what has been the success stories and what has been the struggles of developing smart grid initiatives across the world. ISGAN is a great organization that brings together a lot of utilities and industry in developing innovative ideas on how to execute smart grids for electric utilities. One piece that ISGAN should also be working on, in my opinion, is with the telecommunication companies to make sure that the barriers of communications for smart grids are broken down in a way to collaborative and cooperatively work together to an end result. And I think that's the key in some of the smart grid developments around the world, is to make sure those communications are secure, robust, and reliable when you're talking about many microsites that need to be coordinated on a smart grid for the benefit of the electric utility, the environment, and the consumer. It's really the only way it will work, is to make sure the communication systems, which ties and integrates all the pieces together in a smart grid in an innovative, effective, and reliable, secure way.